I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and I always say that no disrespect him, but sometimes it's a little crazy that people talking about a small fighter like Charlo. He's big, which he is big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford.
It started hitting me like, oh, all right, man, maybe you on to something. Then I started sizing him up, and I'm like, all right, well, Canelo 5'7", my arm's longer.
Yeah.
He's strong, I'm strong.
Right.
It'd be, to me, skill for skill.
Right.
Because Canelo not the biggest 168 fighter. So,
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford just got off of a very angry live chat before their September 12th fight. They have had a fight since the fight became public, as anyone can see from their face-off.
Well, here we go.
Even though they had mean smiles on their faces, things got serious when they looked at each other. The two did a live interview with a popular boxing station on YouTube, which then called them before the fight. During the call, Terence Crawford was asked if he was sure he would win the fight.
Show, you know what I mean?
Do you think Crawford will employ the same tactics to try and box?
I hope not. I hope not, because the people deserve a good fight.
What do you make of the Crawford fight next?
Huh?
How excited are you for the Crawford
I'm
fight?
excited. I'm gonna enjoy this win, and then we think do it.
The former undisputed middleweight champion from Omaha, Nebraska, looked strong and sure of himself as he spoke about his victory. I'm definitely going to beat him. He knows this is what I always say about the guys who fight him. They're always scared, but I'm going to come in, do my job, and win. I admire how well he fights, but he's never been up against anything like what I'll bring to the ring. I'm come with the goal to win, and I will. He may be bigger, but he is not better.
it won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently. And it'd be a well-fought fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that
What Crawford said was more than that. It was meant to be funny for Canelo Alvarez, who didn't like what Crawford said to him. He stopped the reporter before they could move on to Canelo and told Crawford that he wasn't better than him. Why do you think you're better than me? What fighters have you fought? What is your fighting record like? What did you do that I hadn't done before? You're not better than GGG or any of the men I've beaten.
Fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that right now. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit.
Canelo Alvarez made a funny allusion to Jermall Charlo, whom he defeated a few years ago after moving up in weight class to face him. You will do nothing more than Charlo did, and I will treat you both in the same way. I will teach you boxing and explain why weight divisions exist. Canelo said, "My hands will be the last to send you to retirement." He then suddenly ended the call. This was unlike any other moment the two combatants have shared with themselves, in which they are known to show so much respect and admiration for one another. Clearly, after announcing and making the fight public, the relationship has taken a perilous turn.
Crawford. But you never know. You never know in boxing. I'll go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible. Why not? It's possible.
Other than the size difference and having to put on some weight, what challenges does Canelo pose once you guys get in there?
I don't know. I just think, his punching power and his physical size is the only thing that I really have to worry about. But who knows? Once we get in the ring, we don't know how I'll handle his punching power, his size. I've been fighting bigger guys.
This caused a lot of excitement among boxing fans, who are looking forward to the epic matchup between both possible boxing Hall of Famers. A fan even said, I can't wait for this match. It appears like boxing is finally ready to reward us for months of watching crap. The fight between Terence Crawford and Saul Canelo Alvarez, slated for September 12th in Las Vegas, promises to be one of the most memorable bouts in the contemporary era of boxing. Both arrive as undisputed champions in their respective categories.
Performance tonight?
Oh, I feel great. I win. I come to put a great show, but to put a great show, you need both fighters. So, but at the end of the day, win is a win.
Are you frustrated with William Scott?
Yeah, a little bit, but.
What did you say to him at the end of the fight?
I say to
Canelo in super middleweight, Crawford in welterweight. Although the American will move up to categories to meet the Mexican, he will only do so after thoroughly analyzing his next opponent. Crawford meticulously followed Canelo's latest unanimous decision win over Cuban William Skull in Saudi Arabia, analyzing the champion's every move. I do not believe Canelo has reduced his level. It was more about the quality of the style that was given to him. He told Fight Hub TV that Skull's defensive and mobile style was an efficient way to neutralize the Mexican. During the 12 rounds in Riyadh, Skull avoided direct exchanges and focused on continual movement, which limited Alvarez's offensive effectiveness.
you just come to you can not win a fight like that, fighting like that, and he say, "I'm sorry, it's my first time, and I just tried to put a good fight, and I'm so sorry." That's fine.
What's your message to fighters who will fight you in the future? Obviously not Crawford, but with that kind of mindset, they just want to last the distance.
That's a mediocre mind. That's a mediocre mind because they come just to survive, to go to the 12th round. That's a mediocre mind. You need to put a good fight there and put.
Fight now.
Well, I've been wanting to fight. I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if this is the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like this fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. We both coming in an era where Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound, Showtime, and HBO era, that type of era. So I think
Canelo threw 152 punches, only 56 of which hit, and despite 40 of them being to the body, the knockout was never close. The skull moved a lot. Crawford said he effectively neutralized Canelo's power punches, but he also regretted the Cuban's inability to maintain that pace throughout the bout. He was boxing well until he stopped. Crawford has previously intimated that his objective will not be to get the knockout, but rather to dominate Canelo with tactical acumen, quickness, and relentless movement. His ability to change postures, adapt to varied techniques, and confuse opponents makes him a dangerous threat.
every time I see him, he'll come and be like, Canelo. You know how Billy do it too. Every time, I'll be like, man, come on, man. Yeah. So every time he say that, I just be like gradually getting into looking at okay. And he's not that big. He heavy, but he's not that big.
Right.
And I'm just like, all right. I'm laughing, but at the same time, it started.
The American seemed to think that with discipline, lateral movement, and active defense, he can deactivate the Mexicans' strength. Following the fight in Saudi Arabia, Crawford entered the ring for his first face-to-face with Canelo, formally kicking off the fight promotion. The scene not only raised supporters' hopes, but also showed that Crawford is prepared with more than just muscle. He plans to use his head. I can spot where his weaknesses are and know how to exploit them. His teacher, Brian Bowick McIntyre, has stated that the plan is in motion. Although Canelo is the betting favorite, Crawford is not a usual opponent.
I feel sorry for him. But he's boxing. He's boxing. Things happen.
Did you watch the fight?
Yeah, of course. It was the fight.
He was a good dancer.
Yeah.
Well, would you rather see him fight Gus Haney again or Rowley again?
The American holds undisputed titles in 2 different divisions, a feat few have achieved in boxing history, and he is now seeking a 3rd consecration against one of the sport's biggest stars. In this war, legacy is as important as victory. Canelo Alvarez stated in an interview with Sway's Universe that he is open to the fight I am in. Why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it's an easy battle, easy money. If the money is right, I'm in because I don't enjoy fighting guys like Crawford. He moves a lot, and the fight is not really well. I witnessed his last battle, and he doesn't move too much anymore, so if the money is true, I'm in right now. There is a reason why weight divisions occur. Canelo added,
Cuando vine a pelear a Madison y voy a volver a venir.
Canelo, I'm sure you saw the fight with Crawford and Madrimov, and you've heard Turki Alishik say that he sent you an offer, possibly to face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer. And look,
this declaration is a major reversal for Canelo, who earlier expressed reservations about facing Crawford, citing the lack of respect he would receive for defeating a weaker opponent. Meanwhile, Crawford has been persistent in following the fight. Crawford is willing to move up to weight classes to prove his superiority, but he is well aware of the physical disadvantage he will confront against Canelo, conceding that size will play an important factor in the battle. However, he has confidence in his abilities to beat this obstacle and create his boxing style. Some pundits are skeptical about Crawford's ability to compete well at super middleweight. This is due in part to his most recent fight, a points win over Israel Madrimov at super welterweight, which lacked the overpowering performance many expected.
Hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo just like they knew Bud was gonna be Spence. It's the real stuff. Real stuff. You just gotta know boxing in order for you to be able to say that. Coach,
fight would be massive.
And you mentioned Floyd. Obviously, Floyd and Manny, a lot of people thought happened way after it should have happened. You guys are both in your prime right now. You guys are both two of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in boxing. This is the biggest fight in boxing right now.
Definitely, and that's what I've been saying. You know, you got two guys, top 3, pound for pound.
Regardless of these problems, the hypothetical fight between Canelo and Crawford has piqued the interest of boxing fans. The mix of strength, speed, skill, and charm from both combatants sets the setting for a spectacular showdown. While some think the press conference was a significant step toward making the matchup a reality, it appears destined to stay exactly that, a fantasy. If you remember, His Excellency Turki Alashik was also lobbying for the fight during Crawford's clash with Israel Madrimov last year. The Saudi prince had even requested Hearn to call Canelo's team to make the bout materialize. However, the fight never took place, and the speculation about it has gradually faded.
These Canelo versus Crawford negotiations, so-called behind the scenes. I want to talk about, 1, is Crawford ready for that fight? 2, how do you see that fight playing out? And 3, is this a reality?
I'll be honest, I'd be very surprised if that fight happens. I think His Excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest. And like, when I've spoken to Canelo before about that fight.
Regardless, many boxing pros say Crawford is no match because to his weight class. Timothy Bradley, a 2-weight world champion turned boxing pundit, disagrees with that assessment, revealing on his YouTube channel that after researching both guys, he now believes Crawford will win decisively. Timothy Bradley, a 3-time boxing champion who seized Manny Pacquiao's belt, thinks Terence Crawford will beat Canelo Alvarez despite being the smaller man because the Mexican has not knocked anyone out since 2021. Since the end of 2024, they two have been reported to face off in the ring, but nothing has happened. Nonetheless, the possibility of the unified super middleweight champion facing the light middleweight champion has piqued many people's interest.
He should be able to beat Canelo, man. I'm telling y'all.
I'm skeptical about the fight. I will back Crawford because, again, I think that he's special.
Crawford, a savvy and powerful switch-hitting brawler, would face Canelo, a relentless pressure fighter known for his durability, heavy striking, and outstanding counter-punching defense. On the latter, Bradley believes his power has waned sufficiently, but will not have a problem facing him in the ring, even if he had go up to divisions to make the super middleweight fight night a reality. Everyone keeps bringing up the, wait, oh, he is going to knock him out, Bradley said on his YouTube account. When the hell was the last time Canelo knocked someone out? You can all quit with that. He is going to knock Crawford out. Come on, guy. Did we just see Alexander Usyk fight a guy Tyson Fury was, quote unquote, 50 pounds bigger?
He just told me Crawford beats Canelo.
Hey, Crawford beats anybody he steps in the ring with. Anybody. He don't go. No one beats. No one beats Terrence Crawford.
And his athleticism and defense to get out of the way, he should be able to beat Canelo, man. Slow plodding forward, good jab, got good quickness.
Canelo is the same height as Crawford. He isn't a natural 168-pounder. He's a great fighter, absolutely. But who else is a wonderful one? Crawford. The great ones know how to figure things out. While it is true that Canelo's last stoppage was against Caleb Plant at the MGM Grand in November 2021, Bradley ignores the fact that the Mexican has faced and defeated respectable fighters such as Gennady Golovkin, John Ryder, Jermall Charlo, Jaime Munguia, and Edgar Berlanga. I awoke at 3 a.m. and something pushed me to study Canelo and Crawford. Crawford is about to beat the crap out of Canelo Alvarez. I'll let you know right quickly. He is planning to slam the brakes on Canelo Alvarez. Crawford's triumph would be a great accomplishment as he tries to add to his already impressive credentials, which include becoming undisputed at both super lightweight and welterweight.
Throws a lot of hooks. Crawford just get away from all of those, get underneath them, bro. He should be able to beat Canelo, man. I'm telling y'all.
I'm skeptical about the fight. I will back Crawford because, again, I think that he's special. And, you know, he's a friend of mine, but that's a dangerous fight, man.
Timothy Bradley was not holding back. This week, the former boxing champion turned to YouTube to call out Canelo Alvarez, pushing the unified super middleweight champion to stop running away and give Terrence Crawford the fight he's been waiting for. Bradley's word was loud and clear: fans want the fight, and Crawford deserves a chance at fame. But, let's be honest, does Bradley think this fight makes sense? Canelo owes it to the boxing community to make this match happen. You've already fled the Benavidez fight, Bradley observed. Make a fight with Crawford. That's the fight everyone wants to watch. He also disputed the idea that Canelo's stature and power will overwhelm Crawford, noting that Canelo began his career at 147 pounds and is the same height as Crawford. You're going throughout Mexico, and you clearly don't care what others think of you for not picking that fight. Make a fight with Crawford. That's a fight that everybody wants to see you take, and it's going to give Crawford the chance to demonstrate you and the world his greatness, Bradley added. It's a bold position, but Bradley is right that this clash will generate buzz. The sport's top star is Canelo, who has a February 2nd 60 record, while Crawford, undefeated at 41, has always been considered one of the most skilled fighters in the game. Here's where things get Turkish. Crawford's last fight against Israel Madrimov did not build confidence. Sure, he won, but it wasn't overwhelming. Crawford used too many right hands and looked less crisp than normal. Canelo has no motive to take this fight. He has previously shown himself against bigger, stronger opponents. Crawford hasn't done enough to earn a shot at 168 pounds.
Back, get one of those guys out of there, man. Go back, start there. That's where you start. Go back to your roots, bro. Get some of that humble pie, bro. Go back, start where you started. Start where you started at. And bro, I'm telling you, you go back where you started, you're gonna come back up on top.
Critics claim that if Crawford truly desired this fight, he would first face David Benavidez or Artur Beterbiev. To show he can compete with the big guns, boxing fans are split. On the one hand, the idea of a skill versus power battle between two generational talents is appealing. Crawford's age 37 and lack of experience at higher weights, on the other hand, make this look to be a one-sided fight. At the end of the day, Canelo does not need this fight. He's already established his legacy as one of the best, and he has plenty of other options to consider. Crawford, on the other hand, may have to go the extra mile to prove he belongs in the ring with Canelo. Timothy Bradley can keep pushing for it, but for the time being, this battle feels more like a fantasy and a reality. Crawford has achieved many great things in boxing, but defeating Canelo would be his crowning achievement. The super middleweight world champion has only lost twice, to Dimitri Bivol and Floyd Mayweather. McIntyre will study the Bivol match if Crawford and Canelo fight. He got him to move his feet. When speaking on the Luke Thomas YouTube channel, McIntyre stated that if the bout were to happen, he would go back and watch Canelo versus Bivol.
Everybody that believes in hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo, just like they knew Bud was going to beat Spence. This is real simple. It's real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say that. Hey, Terry's going to get in there and do what he needs to do. Perform.
I'd also look at Mayweather versus Canelo, and that's it for now. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to receive the most up-to-date information about boxing stories, events, and actions. Don't forget to enable alerts so you can be notified when we post high-quality stuff like this. Until next time, peace.